All right, so we talk a lot about policy on this show, but we actually brought you on to talk about the legality of all this. You said there may be some legal questions about these tariffs.
Absolutely. So while the tariffs are likely to be cheered on by labor and other parts of the political sphere that don't normally align with President Trump, on the other hand, there's going to be a lot of opposition. And that opposition is going to question the legal basis for these tariffs, which the president is implementing under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act. And that requires a report assessing whether tariffs are necessary in order to further national security. That report that the president is relying on was done in 2019. Opponents of the tariffs are going to say that the report Section 232 requires that the president implement the tariffs or announce them within 90 days of the report, and then implement them within 15 days of the announcement. And so there's going to be a legal question about whether the basis for these tariffs is a flawed process that would require the president to go back and enter into public comment, to enter into a new analysis using the Department of Commerce.
Well, Jonathan, a question for you. I mean, let's say he does have to go back and do that and do a new analysis. Wouldn't the analysis lead to the outcome that he would want it to, because it's one of his secretaries that's going to be leading the analysis?
Absolutely. It's highly unlikely that the outcome will be any different. Instead, it'll just buy some time, which I think is the important point here. The president has been quite clear that these tariffs he believes are in the interest of national security, and these tariffs, perhaps unlike some of the others that have been announced or at least threatened, really do go or appear to go more toward the core objective of trying to boost U.S. manufacturing. Of course, it's going to take a long time for U.S. manufacturers, even if they have the intention of, car manufacturers, even if they have the intention of ramping up their production in the United States, it could take years.
Yeah, fair enough. Our Phil LeBeau on our air saying yesterday that even if a company started today, it would take about 2.5 to 3.5 years, and that would be at lightning speed. So a fair point there. I do want to ask you, if there are legal challenges to this, does he have some footing to say moving manufacturing back to the U.S. is about domestic security and homeland security, just because we need more things made here in the U.S. and sometimes we have our data stolen by foreign actors or our technology stolen by foreign actors. And this is very similar, maybe just in reverse, to the export controls from the Biden administration. Is there a legal argument to that?
Yes, there is, and it is potentially compelling. Courts tend to give a lot of deference to the president on questions regarding national security, and if they follow the proper process, or court deems that they have followed the proper process, then I think that deference is likely to result in, just as you say, an assessment that we need domestic manufacturing, including core industries like automotive, in order to make sure that we are protected in the event of a national security crisis.
Jonathan, one last question about the legality of all this. I remember during the first Trump administration, there was a lot of talk about forcing carriers like UPS and FedEx to actually know what was in the packages that are being shipped. There was talk about it. And FedEx actually sued the federal government. Is there any chance that automakers, they may sue the U.S. government this time around? I'm seeing some things cross the wires. Valeo, a French auto parts supplier, saying they're going to have to raise prices. Is there any window or opportunity for U.S. automakers or maybe even foreign automakers to sue the government here in the U.S., citing that 2019 report you're talking about, saying that it's kind of an unfair tariff, an unfair duty on their business?
I think it's highly likely we're going to see lawsuits. Again, whether they succeed or not is a separate question, but it likely will be based on, among other things, the shakiness of relying on that report.
From companies, though? Do you expect companies to do it, or would it be nations?
Oh, it will likely be companies. Nations would have to pursue most likely a different process, one that is unlikely going through the WTO or other sort of international bodies. So this is going to be companies having to take on the administration, which is a daunting task to begin with.